So it's a lazy Monday afternoon. You've been involved in a motor vehicle accident that wasn't your fault recently, but you still need to call the other person's insurance company to talk about your version of the events and get the matter underway. You call them, you take the options 1, 3, 4, you think, and there's some automated message that mentions that calls will be recorded for quality and verification and goes into things about PDS, and your eyes glaze over as the matter records itself out to you. You are on hold for a moment or so, you get bored at the 2 or 3 minute mark and start scrolling through the Instagram on the computer. And eventually, a lovely, plucky, excited insurance girl answers the phone and addresses herself. Good afternoon, you're speaking with Alexandra. How can I help you today? She's quite plucky. She's not sure whether she had rye on her sandwich for lunch or not, but she keenly wants to go back and check the recipe because it was absolutely delicious. You introduce the matter, and once again, before you go into talking about the incident, she advises that all calls may be recorded for quality and verification purposes. You pause for a moment, you head and say nothing, but in the back of your mind, you're wondering, why? Hi, thanks for stopping by. As always, I'm Kashmir Z, here talking about claims. Calls are recorded. Recorded line. Is this okay? Well, when you call an insurance company, particularly for a motor vehicle accident, you will often have an automated message that will suggest the call is recorded. You'll probably talk with a claims consultant and they will advise you that the call is recorded as well. Now, the way that it's going to be propositioned to you will be that, hi, you're talking with so-and-so on a recorded line. Hi, you're talking with so-and-so with the points of ID. Just need to advise all calls are recorded for quality and verification purposes. These are the ways that will be introduced to you. It's important to understand that while it says it's for quality and verification purposes, which is partly true, the companies will use them for that, the insurance companies or any credit hire company probably as well. The reason that it's being stated to you is because that call, depending on what you divulge, may or may not be able to be used as evidence. Now, if they don't advise, the insurance company that is, if the insurance company does not advise you that the call is recorded, then it's generally speaking not something that is admissible in evidence for a variety of other factors that I will default to the very capable legal people of YouTube to explain that to you in more depth. But suffice to say, it's important that you understand that if you're going to make a lodgement, okay, if you're going to call another person's insurance company or even your own insurance company and you're going to make a statement, in motor vehicle accident claims, you will often make a lodgement that is recorded over the phone. That is common. Make sure that your lodgement is going to be consistent. Now, if you call at the side of the road and you make a lodgement, which is perfectly fine to do so, you might be, under certain circumstances, not entirely thinking about all the different nuances that might go into your claim. If you have the ability to do so, what I would suggest, knowing that you will be on a recorded line, which may be used for evidence in whatever capacity or cross-checking or investigation further on down the line, before you call your insurance company or before you call the at-fault driver's insurance company, make sure that you write it down, okay? Have a clear understanding of what happened in the accident, write it down, get your facts together, have it collatable in a presentable manner. That way, if you do need to discuss it with your insurance company and then maybe 2 or 3 days later, you discuss it with the other person's insurance company, you're not stressed trying to remember your exact version. You've written it down, you can read it before you call, and you can address it. Even if the matter is brought up to you several months later, you can then go back to your notes, review it, and press on with giving the same version again. Now, the reason that that's important is because it's recorded. If there's some sort of dispute that presents itself further down the line, we hope there's not, but maybe there is. If there's any inconsistency with those recorded versions, that might flag the matter to investigation. And while that investigation might yield that the circumstances were as they were in your initial lodgement, you don't want to have to accidentally find yourself in that situation and then you've got to try and explain, oh, well, this and that, and I was thinking this and that, and then the investigator has to, explore the veracity of the psychology of what you're trying to say to them and, other factors. It's just a mess, right? You want to reduce your inconvenience with this stuff as much as possible. So knowing that you're going to go into talking to an insurance company about a motor vehicle accident that wasn't your fault, if you're going to have to make a recorded statement, make sure that that recorded statement is accurate and make sure that you've written it down yourself. That way, if there is a need to discuss it further down the line, it's going to be consistent. with all your other points that you've discussed along the way. Now, while I do specifically talk here about motor vehicle accidents, specifically not at fault motor vehicle accidents, where it is quite common to discuss on a recorded line or make a recorded statement about your version with insurance companies, if, and I want to stress this, if you are potentially lodging a personal injury claim and talking with insurance companies, disregard everything I've just said, talk to a solicitor first. It's not my area of expertise whatsoever. However, I'm of the understanding that you really should talk with a solicitor before making a recorded statement for a personal injury claim. I'll leave it at that. I know nothing about it. Specifically, I cover motor vehicle accident claims. That's my area of expertise. But make sure if you are lodging a personal injury claim, talk with a solicitor before you discuss anything with the insurance company, particularly on a recorded line. Now, one final little tidbit that I might like to point out to you is while the insurance company has the right to record you, you do actually also still have the right to record them. The importance is that you just make sure that you divulge it in the same manner as they would to you, so that you're compliant with the Surveillance Devices Act in your particular state of Australia. Now, there are often not reasons that you would want to record an insurance company. However, if you know that you might be going into a disputed matter, or perhaps you're having some sort of issue in negotiation that might later require something, sometimes in certain contexts you might actually want to record what you're discussing with them so that you have it for your own particular records. Yes? Now, there are interesting ways that you can use that. I'm not going to discuss them, but sometimes if there are challenges in a certain company being able to obtain liability, one might be able to use a little bit of creative nous, understanding what their legal rights are so far as a recorded line and so far as how it can be utilized. But I will leave that to your imagination. As always, thanks for watching. If you could like, subscribe, has no cost to you but tremendous value to me, would be greatly appreciated. And make sure, as always, drive safe, keep safe, and have yourself a lovely afternoon. See you later.